Hello everyone, welcome to another video from Obscura Zone. My name is Manu. Today we will see how to create a Maven project and also how to run the test cases with the help of a Maven project. So let's get started. I'll share my screen. Okay. So yeah, this is my Eclipse IDE and let's create a project. So come to new, others, then type Maven, select a Maven project, click next. Yes, the first thing that need to take care is to select this, create a simple project. Okay. Then the next thing is let's choose a location where we need to create the project. So I come to C folder, I'll create maybe a project name, example automation. Now I just select it. Okay. First thing is to check this, then just give the location where you want to create your project, then click next. So I'll give sample automation in group ID and also in the artifact ID. Don't worry too much about this if you are a beginner in Maven. And then I just click finish. Now if you observe, you will see in my project, it's been written in capital letter M, which means this is a Maven project. Now if you open this, you'll see we have 4 folders structure. One is SRC main Java, main resource, then we have SRC test Java and test resource. So all these folders have been created automatically with the help of the simple architecture. And we also have something called as a form.xml. This has been also been auto-generated. We'll come to this little later. So basically SRC main Java, in this folder only, usually the developers create their packages and create the classes for their development. Okay. Main resource is where, let's say, if you want to keep, if you want to read the data from a property file or let's say from Excel, all those things, I mean, the Excel files, property file, or everything will be kept in the resource folder. And we also have test resources. So in this test resource, I mean, let's say if we have an Excel sheet where we need to fetch the data like username, password, or URL or anything. So basically resource folder is where we keep the external files like Excel files or property files, or if you have someone working with Cucumber, then .feature files. Okay. And the main thing as a test automation engineer will be the SRC test Java. So in this folder, we usually write all our test classes. Okay. So let's get started. I will create a package. I'll keep the package name as test. Then we'll write a Java class. I'll type it as hello test. Okay. And I'm just creating public static void main along with this. Okay. So if you are a very beginner, if you're new to Maven, so you will know that the only way to execute any Java class is through Maven. Sorry, through the main class. So hello and hello test. So if you are someone who haven't worked with Maven, then usually you'll have to write the main class, and from here we right click and do run as Java application, right? So you just click run as Java application and you will see hello, I am in hello test. But there are other ways also to execute my methods. I mean, it's not absolutely necessary to have main method in order to execute it or in order to get the output in my console. So the next way, I'll create a class. I'll create a method public void test method. So I am in the test method. Okay. Now for that, we need to give an annotation in order to execute it. And the annotation is @test. So I hope if you are someone who worked in automation, or even if you are a developer, you're very sure what is this @test, right? This is a test automation. For a JUnit, this is the annotation @test. Now, we need to add the library corresponding to it. So what's the next thing we need to do is we need to add the dependencies for the JUnit. So the first thing is dependencies. Okay. Now we'll add a JUnit dependency. So how will we do this? We'll come here. Okay. We'll type JUnit Maven dependency. And let's say we need 4.13.2. We'll just copy this. Okay. We'll come and paste it over here. Okay. We're just pasting the dependency. Basically, we need JUnit of the version 4.13.2. Now, once we click save, it just gets built up. Okay. Now, if we look into this Maven dependencies over here, you'll be able to find the jar file JUnit 4.13.2. So this jar file in our local system, if you check .m2 folder, inside it you will have the repository folder. Inside it you will find. So let's say if I change this to 13.1 and I do a save. See, now it's been downloading, building 100%. Okay, let's try to refresh this project. So now the jar file version has been changed to 13.1. So this is one of the main advantage of using the pom.xml, or this is the greatest advantage given by the Maven project. Where you just need to give the dependency just like this, and it will automatically download the jar from the Maven repository and will be attached to your local system, and then it gets attached to your project. Okay, you don't need to attach any jar file externally. I mean, if it's a normal project, then we usually come here. Then in the Java build path, you need to come to libraries and click add external jar. This is a if you are not using a Maven project, then we have to come here into the Java build path, and then we need to click add external jars. Instead of that, if you are using a Maven project, you just need to give the version of the jar, and then it will automatically get attached here. Now, if we come over here and hover it, it will show. Earlier, it was not showing input org.junit. Now, I just need to select it, save it. Okay. Now, if you click here and then do run as a JUnit, see, I am in the test method. So this time I haven't used any public static void main method. Instead, I use the annotation. With the help of annotation, this test method, now this has become a test method, and this have been executed, and I got the result as pass. Okay. Now, another advantage of Maven is we'll be able to run this test case from the project level. So for that, you right click. If you come over here, you'll see run as. Okay. So run as Maven build, Maven. So these all are the Maven commands. Okay. Test, install, clean, build, all this. I will not go deep into all this. Okay. So usually the first thing that we need to do is a Maven clean. Let's do that. once we do a Maven clean, what happens is, so whenever we run any Java program, right? I mean, it will generate a lot of class files. So what does the Maven clean do is like it will delete all the previous existing .class files. So right now, just observe this folder. So what they have mentioned is deleting resampled target. Now there is nothing in this target folder, correct? Now let's try to install it. Maven install. Now what happens is it is trying to execute something, but it says source option 5 is no longer supported. But one thing you need to observe is in this target folder. Now it have some files that's been generated. Okay. This we will come right now. One of the issue it says is build has been failed. And why it's been failed to execute goal, mainly Maven compiler plugin. So we need to add something called as a Maven compiler plugin. For that, I'll just copy the compiler plugin things. We come to the form.xml. Just add whatever things has been there. So we have something called as a property stack, and then the Maven compiler source, which is given as 1.8. So this is the source and this is the target. Okay. Here they were telling, I mean, source option is not here. Okay. No longer supported. So we need to use the Maven compiler. Now let's come to our Java class. Okay. So if you see here, right now the target folder do have some files, right? Now from run as, do a Maven clean, it goes empty. So whatever .class files or whatever .jar files that's been created get deleted first. That's the role of Maven clean. Okay. Now let's try to run this. I'll run Maven test. Now this time, what happens is it has run the test case. Okay. If you see here, I'll just expand a little more. See, with the help of the Maven compiler plugin, okay, it have started executing the test, and here I'm getting the out. I am in test method, and it says it have run one test, and everything has been passed, and no failure, and the build is set. Okay, so this is the advantage, another advantage of using a Maven project. Okay, where you can come over here, you do run and a Maven test, and it will run it. Now there is something that need to be taken care, like with respect to the class name. Now, if you create a class name, something as, let's say, hello world, okay, and I write as @test public void second test. So I'm in second test, and I will input the JUnit name. All right. Now, shouldn't this project be executed correctly, right? I mean, the first thing, always do a Maven clean, okay? Before executing it, we need to delete all the previous files. So do a Maven clean. The target folder is empty right now. Then let's run the Maven test. This time, if you observe, you'll see that only I am in test method has been executed. See, the second test method, hello, I am in second test. This haven't been executed. Only this has been executed. Can anyone observe and tell me why our hello world haven't been executed? Any guess? I mean, in the first Java class, hello test, this got executed. Now, for the hello world, this haven't got executed, this test method. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because while running a Maven project, it always check for the class which have the word test. So in order to run this class, in order to execute this test class, we need to prefix or we need to have the word test somewhere in the class name. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll just rename it. Okay. I'll rename this and change to test. So our test class should always have the word test in order to run this. Okay. This becomes applicable for the JUnit. If you are using TestNG, then it will be handled automatically. But it's good to use the word test in front of every test class, even if it's a JUnit or even if it's a TestNG. Now if I click finish, now the class name has been changed to test hello world. Now let's try to run it. We come to run as Maven clean. Okay, this has been cleaned. Now come here, then do a Maven test. Now this time if you observe, you'll see I am in test method, which has been executed from hello test class, and it's also executing the test hello world. Okay, this time it shows hello, I am in second test. So the key thing to observe is it should have the word test either as a prefix or maybe anywhere in that class name. It should have the word test, then only this gets executed. But we can also execute it even without using the keyword test, but then you have to use the keyword. Then you have to use the tag something called as an include in the pom.xml, which I will not be explaining it right now, as this is the basic part. Now I will show you one more difference. Let's say let's create a package in the main Java. I will create the package name as dev. Okay, this time let's create a Java class. So the rule is to have the word test, then I will type dev. Okay, then I click finish, then again authority test public void dev test. Okay, and the type I am in the dev test. All right, and I will also import the Java file. Now if you come here, if we try to import, we'll just import it. Okay. Now let's try to run this. The first thing is run as Maven clean. Okay. Now let's try to run this. Run as Maven test. If you observe, you'll see the build has been failed. Okay. Why? Because it says it cannot attach or do the compilation part. Okay. Where with respect to dev test, basically our JUnit or the TestNG classes should never be written in the main Java. If you do that, then with the help of Maven, we will not be able to execute it. If you come here and try to run it, then it will work. That's a different thing. No, sorry, it will not work. So that's the point. So we should never write any TestNG class or a JUnit class in the main method. If you come here, this is my test package, and if we try to run this will not work. Why? Because right now this need to be changed. Okay, I will show how it will be working. So I hope it's clear, right? And then you come here, you do a Maven clean, and if you try to run Maven test, this time the execution has been failed. All right. Now what I'll do is I will remove this at the rate. I'll have removed the package. I have removed the at the rate test. Now this is just a simple method, correct? Now let's do a Maven clean. And then let's try to run this. Maven test. This time, the execution has been completed. It has done the execution part. If you come here, you do a run as, this will also be executed. But, if you have any JUnit or the TestNG annotations in the main class, then using the Maven, we will not be able to execute it. So basically, we have the commands like Maven clean, Maven test. Okay. So I hope this video is really helpful. One of the key things which you always need to take care is with respect to the form.xml. This is a dependency that need to be added, maven.compiler.source. And if you are using, instead of JUnit, if you want to use the TestNG, then you can just copy the dependency with respect to the TestNG, and that need to be pasted here. If you are using, if you want to use the Selenium library, just add the dependencies here. If you want to use the Excel, then add the Apache POI dependencies over here. And let's also try to add, let's say, one second. We come to System Explorer. Okay. Let's add an Excel file also. Test it. Yeah. So this will be the ideal case. Whatever test methods or whatever things with respect to the test data need to be done, this should be kept in the resource file, and whatever the test classes should be always written in the test Java. Even if you are into the development, we can use this main Java, but make sure none of the classes will have the annotation. None of the classes should be a TestNG or a JUnit classes. So these are the very few steps that need to be done for creating a Maven project, and these are the few things that you should take care while executing a very simple Maven project. So I hope this video was helpful. Have a great day. Yes. So thank you.